You've done everything right. You eat your vegetables, skip fried foods, and try to stay active. But lately, maybe you've noticed small things. A touch of dizziness when standing up, a foggy morning, or that strange feeling in your arm that fades before you can explain it. That's exactly what happened to Ellen Brooks, a 72-year-old retired teacher who truly believed her healthy habits were keeping her safe. What if some of the very vegetables we've trusted for decades start working against us after 60? What if healthy changes with age? In today's video, we're uncovering 5 common vegetables that may quietly raise your stroke risk after 60. And more importantly, how to eat them safely so your brain and circulation stay strong for years to come. If you're serious about your health after 50, make sure to subscribe. We share natural senior nutrition tips every week to help you live longer, stronger, and wiser. 1. Spinach, the two-faced friend of your brain. For decades, spinach has been praised as a superfood, the green powerhouse packed with iron, magnesium, and antioxidants to build strong muscles, bones, and a healthy heart. Doctors, dietitians, even cartoon heroes told us to eat more spinach to stay young and strong. And for many years, that was true. But after 60, this once perfect food can quietly shift from friend to foe, not because spinach suddenly becomes bad, but because our bodies simply process it differently with age. Here's what's happening inside. Spinach is naturally high in oxalates, tiny compounds that love to bind with calcium in your body. When you're younger, your kidneys flush out these oxalates easily. But as the years pass, kidney function slows, blood vessels stiffen, and many older adults begin taking calcium and vitamin D supplements for bone health. That combination, slower filtration, extra calcium, and frequent spinach, can lead to a buildup of calcium oxalate crystals. These crystals can lodge inside small blood vessels, gradually narrowing them like grains of sand inside a thin pipe. Over time, blood flow to the brain weakens, and one day all it takes is a tiny clot to block circulation completely. That's exactly what happened to Harold Briner, a 76-year-old retired firefighter from Milwaukee. Every night, he made himself a spinach salad with a sprinkle of feta cheese, followed by his calcium and vitamin D tablets. It was his ritual, his way of staying healthy. One winter morning, Harold's wife found him slumped at the kitchen table, his coffee spilled, his words jumbled. He had suffered a mild stroke in his sleep. The tests later showed high calcium and oxalate levels, the silent partnership that had slowly narrowed his brain's arteries. When he recovered, he looked at me and said, "I thought I was doing everything right. So how can you enjoy spinach safely after 60? Eat it earlier in the day, at breakfast or lunch, when your body's circulation and hydration are strongest. Avoid taking calcium or vitamin D supplements at the same meal. Drink water to help your kidneys flush out oxalates. And don't make spinach your daily routine. Variety keeps your body balanced. Spinach is still your friend, but only when you respect the new rules after 60. 2. Broccoli, the vitamin K trap. Broccoli has always been the poster child of healthy eating. It's rich in fiber, antioxidants, and vitamins that support the heart and fight inflammation. For decades, we've been told to eat your greens, and broccoli has proudly stood at the top of that list. But after 60, what once protected your heart may quietly put your brain at risk if you're not careful. The reason isn't the vegetable itself. It's how broccoli interacts with the medications so many older adults take every day. Broccoli is naturally high in vitamin K, a nutrient that helps your blood clot properly. That's a good thing for most people. But if you're taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, Plavix, or even daily aspirin, things can get complicated. Vitamin K works in the opposite direction of those drugs. So when your intake of broccoli changes, one week you eat a lot, the next week almost none, your blood's consistency changes too. It might become too thick, increasing the risk of a clot and stroke, or too thin, raising the chance of internal bleeding. You won't feel these changes right away, but inside your body, that balance can shift from safe to dangerous without warning. That's exactly what happened to Clara Newton, an 82-year-old retired schoolteacher from Pennsylvania. Clara was disciplined and health conscious. She took her medication faithfully and had steamed broccoli with olive oil every evening, believing it kept her heart young. What she didn't know was that this daily routine was throwing off the delicate balance of her blood. Over time, her blood became unstable, sometimes clotting too quickly, sometimes too slowly. One afternoon, Clara complained of a dull headache and slight confusion before collapsing. Doctors discovered a mild brain bleed caused not by high blood pressure or trauma, but by an overthinning of her blood. When she recovered, she said softly, "Healthy food isn't harmless, not at our age. So how do you enjoy broccoli safely after 60? You don't have to give it up. What matters most is consistency. Eat a similar amount each week so your doctor can adjust your medication dosage accurately. Don't make sudden changes to your diet without consulting your healthcare provider. Balance protects you far better than avoidance ever could, because in the end, consistency protects you more than restriction." 3. Carrots, sweet but risky at night. Carrots have always had a reputation for being one of the healthiest snacks you can reach for. Crunchy, low in calories, naturally sweet, and packed with beta carotene to support eye and skin health. For many older adults, raw carrots feel like a guilt-free way to satisfy late-night hunger. But what most people don't realize is that timing matters just as much as what you eat. After 60, those crunchy orange sticks can quietly disrupt your blood sugar and circulation while you sleep. Here's why. Raw carrots contain natural sugars that digest quickly, causing your blood sugar to rise. In younger bodies, insulin responds swiftly, keeping everything in balance. But with age, that response slows down. For seniors, especially those managing prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or blood pressure concerns, this can create a chain reaction. You eat carrots at night, your blood sugar spikes, then your body releases insulin to bring it down. Hours later, while you're asleep, your sugar levels can drop too low. The body panics, releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to push your sugar back up. These hormones constrict your blood vessels and raise your blood pressure, a perfect environment for a small clot to form and block blood flow to the brain. That's exactly what happened to Leah Henderson, a 78-year-old retired nurse from Portland. Leah had always been proud of her healthy choices. She avoided sweets and processed snacks, replacing them with raw carrots before bed. "It's my bedtime treat," she used to say. But over time, she began waking up dizzy and sometimes confused, brushing it off as just getting older. One morning, she couldn't remember how to make coffee, a routine she had done every day for 40 years. At the hospital, doctors found signs of a mild stroke and noticed sharp overnight drops in her blood sugar. Her healthy habit had quietly triggered dangerous nighttime fluctuations. So how can you keep enjoying carrots safely? Eat them during the day when your metabolism is active. Pair them with protein or healthy fats, like hummus, a boiled egg, or a handful of nuts to slow down sugar absorption. And most importantly, avoid eating them raw at night, because after 60, timing turns carrots from sugar spikes into steady energy. 4. Garlic, the healing herb. That can harm for centuries, Garlic has been celebrated as one of nature's most powerful medicines. It lowers blood pressure, supports the heart, fights infection, and strengthens the immune system. Many seniors even take garlic supplements or eat raw cloves daily, believing they're doing something wonderful for their health, and often they are. But after 60, what helps the heart can sometimes quietly endanger the brain, especially when garlic is combined with certain medications. Here's why. Garlic contains allicin, a natural compound that works as an anticoagulant, meaning it thins the blood and helps prevent clots. That's great if you're not on medication. But if you're taking blood thinners like warfarin, Plavix, or even a daily low-dose aspirin, garlic can amplify their effects. When both the medication and the garlic are thinning your blood at the same time, the result can be dangerous. The blood becomes too thin, and fragile, aging blood vessels, especially those in the brain, can rupture under even mild pressure. That's what happened to Thomas Reeves, an 81-year-old retired railroad engineer from Missouri. After a small heart procedure, Thomas was prescribed a blood thinner. Wanting to boost his recovery naturally, he added a 600 milligram garlic supplement each morning, plus a raw clove at dinner. It's natural, he thought, so it must be safe. 3 weeks later, he started having pounding headaches and light sensitivity. One evening, his speech slurred and he collapsed. At the hospital, scans revealed a mild brain bleed. His blood had become so thin that a tiny vessel burst on its own. When we reviewed his diet and supplements, the cause was clear. Not the medication alone, not the garlic alone, but the combination of both. Later, Thomas told me softly, I thought natural means safe. So how can you keep garlic as a friend, not a threat? If you're taking any kind of blood thinner, avoid garlic supplements unless your doctor approves them. Stick to cooked garlic in your meals. When heated, allicin levels drop, reducing its blood-thinning power while keeping its heart benefits. Watch for early signs of overthinning, easy bruising, frequent nosebleeds, unexplained fatigue, or new headaches. These are your body's quiet warnings that your blood chemistry may be off balance. Garlic remains a wonderful ally for healthy aging, but after 60, it must be treated with the same respect as medicine. Remember, natural doesn't always mean harmless. Talk to your doctor before mixing. 5. Tomatoes, the nightshade that mimics a stroke. Tomatoes have long been seen as the symbol of heart-healthy eating. They're colorful, light, and full of flavor, found in salads, sauces, soups, and sandwiches everywhere. Packed with lycopene, an antioxidant known to protect the heart and skin, tomatoes are often thought of as one of the safest foods for older adults. And for the most part, that's true. But after 60, the way your body responds to certain plant compounds changes, especially when it comes to circulation and nerve health. That's why, for some seniors, tomatoes can quietly create temporary disruptions that look and feel alarmingly like a stroke. Tomatoes belong to a plant family called nightshades, which also includes potatoes, peppers, and eggplants. These plants naturally produce chemical compounds such as histamine, tyramine, and solanine. In small amounts, these are harmless, but in sensitive individuals, particularly older adults with fragile blood vessels or fluctuating blood pressure, these compounds can cause unpredictable changes in blood vessel tone. Histamine and tyramine can make vessels expand or contract suddenly, while solanine in higher amounts can irritate nerve pathways and affect the brain's communication signals. Together, they can trigger symptoms like dizziness, blurred vision, tingling in the hands or face, or slurred speech, sensations that closely resemble the early warning signs of a stroke. This is what happened to Margaret Ellis, a 79-year-old grandmother from North Carolina. She had always loved her evening soups and never went to bed without a warm bowl of tomato bisque. One night, just after finishing dinner, she began feeling lightheaded and noticed her speech slurring slightly. Her family rushed her to the emergency room, fearing a stroke, but after a series of scans, doctors found no blood clots, no bleeding, just temporary vascular spasms and electrolyte imbalances. The culprit? Her nightly tomato soup, eaten late, often paired with roasted peppers and potatoes, all members of the nightshade family. The combination had quietly overstimulated her vascular system, creating what doctors called a stroke mimic. Margaret was lucky. Within hours, she recovered fully, but the experience left her shaken. I thought I was doing something healthy, she told me. I never imagined a simple soup could make me feel that way. So how can you continue to enjoy tomatoes safely? Timing and pairing are key. Avoid heavy tomato meals at night, especially soups or stews made with other nightshade vegetables like potatoes or bell peppers. When eaten late, their compounds are more likely to interfere with blood flow and nerve signaling while you rest. Instead, enjoy tomatoes at lunch or early afternoon when your metabolism and hydration are stronger. Cook them gently. Heat reduces solanine and acidity while increasing the absorption of lycopene. And if you combine them with magnesium-rich foods such as spinach, pumpkin seeds, or avocados, you can help balance your electrolytes and protect your blood vessels. Tomatoes are still one of nature's gifts, but after 60, your body's chemistry deserves extra attention. Eat with awareness, not fear. Listen to how your body responds, especially if you notice dizziness or tingling after tomato-heavy meals. Small adjustments in timing and combinations can make a big difference in protecting your brain and circulation. Because tomatoes nourish your heart, but timing keeps your brain safe. As we reach our 60s and beyond, the rules of health begin to shift. What once worked effortlessly in your 40s may no longer serve you the same way. Your digestion slows, your circulation changes, and your body's chemistry becomes more sensitive to timing, hydration, and medication. That's why at this stage of life, it's not just about what you eat, but when you eat, how much you eat, and what you combine it with. Even healthy vegetables can have different effects depending on your age and your daily routine. The truth is, your body is still capable of strength, balance, and renewal. It simply needs new awareness. Spinach, broccoli, carrots, garlic, and tomatoes. Each of them can still nourish you deeply if you know their rhythms. Eat spinach at midday, not with calcium. Enjoy broccoli steadily, not suddenly. Choose carrots for daylight energy, not midnight snacks. Cook garlic instead of swallowing it raw, and save tomato soups for lunch instead of late dinners. Small adjustments like these can protect your brain, support your heart, and preserve your independence for years to come. Every choice you make at the table is an act of self-care. When you eat with understanding, you turn food from something ordinary into something powerful, a daily medicine that keeps your body steady and your mind clear. Remember, awareness is the real medicine. What you eat wisely today becomes your independence tomorrow. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 vegetable rules surprised you the most? Was it spinach, broccoli, carrots, garlic, or tomatoes? Share your thoughts in the comments, and maybe your story will inspire someone else to make a small but life-changing adjustment. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with someone who loves their health as much as you do. Don't forget to subscribe for more senior nutrition insights every week. Simple science-based guidance to help you stay strong, sharp, and confident at every age. Because living well after 60 isn't about restriction, it's about wisdom, balance, and the courage to keep learning about your body every single day.